All right, DJ Mike T back again for another adventure. This adventure right here is really it's a kind of a supportive message basically about my generation and the vibes that's coming out of my generation and the vibe. Like, okay, put it this way, you have levels of like I'm a West Coast nigga. Okay, I'm an Inglewood dude. You know, you got the triple OG levels, you got the your generals, and you got, you know what I'm saying, your doubles and all that. You know, your respectables, but somehow rap is really basically about gangster rap in the West Coast and the mentality that is engulfed everything. There's a bitterness going on in this world right now. And it's not dealing with the artist, the true artist. I'm glad art is like a renaissance period. Remember when there were a lot of painters and sculptors back there before, you know, music blown up and the records were invented. There's always been eras, you know what I'm saying? If you go back in history, you had the Bronze Age and the this age and that age, and now we're in some type of computer literacy or app age. I don't know. They'll tell us 50 years later, but my thing is where this leadership is going to about respect. And my thing, it just popped in my head tonight. Let's see, today's December 12th, 2019. And in a few months, it's going to be prime time again. And, you know, these little youngsters be putting their prime pictures up there. And there's always people my generation got something to say about their generation. And our eyes should be closed, ears should be closed, mouth should be shut. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil about anything that has nothing to do with you. You may have an opinion, but like they say, we already know the story about opinions. They're like assholes. My thing is, when I was coming up, the thing not to wear at the prom was ruffles, okay? And bell bottoms, all right? They may have ruffles. They may have weird outfits, may have diamond studded blinking hats. Who knows what they're going to wear? It's not for my generation. If you're not the executive, which is their parents or whoever that adopted the kids or any organization that funded this kid to go to their prom or after prom or whatever, it's not up to us. It's just like the music industry. You may be a crowd in a crowd, but it don't always affect what you say. You bottom line, sometimes most of the time, if you ever understood business, the fans are the last to really get their point across. They're trying to use this information system we're on now to get heads up to be first, but at the end of the line, you know what I'm saying, business it's going to have to, it'll balance out. But my generation, I'm talking about my generation. I had to speak with my homeboy about this. I said, I realized something. It ain't the triple OGs. It may be a few double OGs. I know it's my generation. I'm 50 years old. It's the G1s are still too opinionative about what goes on in a world they're not funding. And I mean in a business world. You know what I'm saying? If you are a business person and you really don't have your DBAs, you're not an executive, yeah, you should really voice your opinion about certain things. I mean, it's an outlet now, you know, it's being taped, it's being recorded, it's being pinned up forever, and people can take it off and boot it, whatever. So watch what you say. But my thing is, these youngsters are shaping themselves. It's like when rap took off and the R&B people didn't like that, or the country western people did not like that or understand how they just gonna sample my record I worked hard to write and take this one little part and make more money than me. But they got kicked back on, you know, when the Harry Fox agency came through and, you know, they had to start paying for these samples. You see what I'm saying? But these youngsters ain't sampling our generation anymore. They're not. They're running with the technology, which quote unquote smart people made. And you have to understand, it's not a brawny world anymore. It's a brainy world. Okay. It's still brawn and brain. Choose your battles right. Okay. Because when you get into this political stuff, it's more brainy than brawny. And you have to be very knowledgeable to be heard and spoken and not broken down when you say things. And that's what my thing is. It's always geared towards, I always look at it towards every year they have, you know, the prom and with these young girls or something, they might be wearing some see-through stuff. These little girls at 17 years old going to prom with some see. I don't know what their parents allowed them to do. But if their parents allowed it and they're not getting arrested for it, the public shouldn't have too much to say about it, you know, because it's an executive decision. It's just like these rap artists. I don't too much understand right now where they're going, what they're talking about. A lot of them just sound too doped up to me. But that's just my opinion. I'll never force my opinion on it, but as long as they're paying their bills and they're taking everything to the next level, they're doing bigger promotions and what I do. Every generation is supposed to be higher, higher, and higher. Like I'm 50, my daughter's going to be 30 next year, okay? We're on two different terminologies. I expect her to be smarter than what I am. When I land my build up of what I've done on her shoulders when I'm gone, like my parent, my four grandparents, everything did to me. You know what I'm saying? Make advanced movements. You see what I'm saying? I'm just gonna, you know, the way I'm writing it, I'm gonna place it in her hand, and whatever she does, if she wins, lose, or draw, that's on her. But You want to enable your children to do more than what you did. You should expect your children to do more than you did because people have been fighting so long to get them in that point. My daughter's a college graduate. I'm not even a college graduate. I got some college. I got more than my parents got. Okay, I was a lot smarter in school than my parents were. They couldn't understand how I understood because I felt like understanding it at that time. My decisions were very rash and high rated. Like one thing I did growing up, I turned down going to the Olympics, training for the Olympics at 16 because I wanted to be a DJ. You see what's behind me. That's the path that I chose. I actually got asked to train for the Olympics when I was 16 years old, and I said I'll be the first black motherfucker swimming across all of the world. But I'm gonna take off because I'm gonna show that ghetto gangster side. Because there's a bunch of ghetto gangster motherfuckers swimming with me, and it made it so crazy. A lot of them became rap artists. I was probably more or less first. It was a couple of guys ahead of me. DJ Slip that swam, and the guy named Jeff Marshall. He was out of Victoria Park. He was a lifeguard there, but he used to swim for Campanella. You know, like I said, he's from Big Cycle, Imperial Village. But they were the older ones than me. They both were DJs. I'm maybe a couple of years behind them, two and a half. And then behind me was Lil Stretch from the Young Soldiers. You know what I'm saying? He swam with me. You know, we had our we figured out what was going on. We watched off from Inglewood, little quick conversation. Okay, we know what we're doing. Okay, that's how we did things when we was back then. Okay, but now the whole gasp and the grasp is different. It's like different angles now. You seeing things from the cameraman's. It's kind of how what's his name, Glass Malone showed how the Tupac incident went down from the other guy's point of view. That's what you're actually seeing in life. And so the always voice your opinion and cut things down without truly trying to understand it. If this ain't your cup of tea, man, go to the next station. That's the good thing about this smorgasbord in the industry. But like I said, if you want to really combat against the industry, get into an executive position. If your kids are trying to do music and you've had a career that just didn't develop the way you wanted to, put yourself in an executive positioning to help your kids out. Okay, parents have always had a big influence or family members on what the next person is doing if you guys decide to work together. Like, I'm going to put it to you this way. In my family, which I've never met the man. If I did, I was a little kid, didn't understand who I was meeting. It's a guy by the name of Johnny Guitar Watson. My first cousin's mother, that's her older brother, but he always stayed on tour. So we did Compton's lynching, and I walked in, I heard him sampling, and I said, y'all got to do me. Even I never met the man like that. My first cousin's mother, this is my auntie, she raised me, everything, but I never saw her older brother because he was always on tour, and he made it when she was young. See what I'm saying? He's a lot older than her. So I said, y'all make sure, because, you know, we had a thing of shortcutting our samples, okay? That was CMW, that was just us. If we can get away with some shit, we was getting away with it. I'm not going to tell the whole story, how all the stuff we got away with, but if you listen, you can figure some stuff out, because I remember we was in New York one time, and we ran against Main Source and Large Professor. He down there broke down our whole Music Drive-By album and just sampled it. He only heard the album once. And I said, you know what, you fit. He said, why you looking at that? I said, dude, you fit your name. You are a Large Professor. He said, because you had a first certain look, you know, West Coast, we don't want people knowing our business. But that was sitting out there, and it just showed how smart his brain was, you know. Street level, nah, you don't speak your business. You know what I'm saying? Loose lips sink ships all day. It's a respect level now. You know what I'm saying? And that respect level is only for the chosen few, and the ones that don't know and never got to know always rant and rave. That's why I said it's my generation. And up under me, too, that feel they need to be a part of this social class of talkingness. Talkingness gets you in a world of trouble. You notice they always say the quiet man I know everything, because his mind is already subdued and sedated within his own self-acceptance that it don't have to be a brother and waiting on these big retarded ass outbursts and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother depiction of what I'm talking about. My thing is, I'm just waiting to come around. And it goes along with music, too, because these young guys are trying to be flamboyant. They're trying to do, you know, they're taking on Amigos outlook, or I don't even know if they, as long as I don't see it, we know where you're going to see them in dresses. I'm going to change to the different channel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not how I look at things. I don't look that it's balanced. You know, man is man, woman is woman. That's the only balance I know. That's the true knowledge of the universe. But, you know, man always got reasoning and shortcuts and excuses, which after a while they fall through, and it just shows you why your stuff imploded on itself. Trying to get too many excuses and not know what they are, but life works itself around the corner to rebalance itself again. But like I said, these youngsters, they're gonna do what they're gonna do if their parents allow them. Okay, so when these executives allow them to put this music out, and if you don't like it, you put yourself in an executive position to combat this. Don't just get on there and rant and rave and look like clickbait and do this dumb, stupid stuff that just make us look stupid as a genre. You got to understand hip-hop. Rap is a part of a genre called hip-hop. Hip-hop is a culture. It's a way of living. It's like going down south eating Creole food. You see what I'm saying? Cajun spices, you know. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? People, you don't look at it as that. The world is eating off our plate, doing it right, and we're eating off our plate, making a mess. So that don't mean don't have your lyrics ready to combat somebody, but just keep that in the general area of analytics because you have to upgrade yourself. I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, Prime's coming around the corner. What these youngsters going, what they parents going to allow them to wear? I'm going to see on Instagram and Twitter. And, you know, so you going to have a bootlegger go come and snipe that picture and repost it back up with some crazy stuff on top. And, you know, I'm kind of looking forward towards it, but sometimes keep it in respectful manner is basically what I'm saying, because everything ain't for you to understand. This is like my rap group. I'm with Compton's Most Wanted. Everybody know I ain't from Compton, but it don't mean I'm from Compton. Do the math. Understand what you're trying to be bitter about and be antagonistic about, putting the square peg in a round hole. That's what I always look. I'll be looking at life sometimes like people are really, the majority of people are retarded because everybody thinks it's a shortcut somewhere. It's not a shortcut. It's either you understand or you don't. Just how Pusha T said, you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're going to think you know, and the more you talk about how much you know it, the more you don't know it, okay? Those that know it ain't going to keep repeating themselves. They just going to keep moving, and you're going to watch them move and move and move and move, and nothing's going to crumble up under their feet. But all you haters want to be where they at. I realized the next generation after me was doing it when I got on, what was it, Air G on the Turk phones back in 2005, and the names that was ringing in the hip-hop room was Gucci Man, Waka Flocka, and Soulja Boy. I never heard their music when I got on there. I just seen the name pop up. They whack, they this. I'm looking like, if y'all hating and all y'all around the same age, that Soulja Boy, they was probably about 18, 19. And the names on there, the people named, they always had their age next to their names, 14, 15. I said, y'all hate because y'all want their position. And that's all it ever showed. You just wanted somebody else's position you can't have. And that's the most dumbest thing you can ever do. If you can't build your own, be an alternative. Because sometimes it's greater later. Stability is the strongest thing anybody can do in a community. You see what I'm saying? So when your homeboy's out there acting wild and crazy, got his pants sagging, selling dope, on dope, doing crazy stuff, you know, people, oh, you see what he did last night? And then you turn around 2 years later, he's in jail for, 10 years for doing something just completely stupid. You on the streets, but you still trying to figure out how to get to that status, but that status is burnt out. If you stay stable and he get out, guess we got to get a job to try to get connected back into society with the stable man. If you're too stable, he ain't going to be able to talk to you because he know he ain't on your level. You understand? That's the adult part of life, dealing with the adolescent, inconsistent child part of the brain. A lot of people still living for that adolescent, inconsistent part of the brain to be always in attention for everybody, or to be accepted by either wild or not wild, or just being abusively disrespectful. And at a certain time, you don't have to be that. Too much time has already passed between my era, Lil Wayne era, the Soulja Boy era, the now you got the Cardi B era. You know what I'm saying? These people achieve greatness through what? Because they low key check their IQ. To put money in a position with these people to go out and make them more money. People's not going to bet on a moron. So this starts when you in a elementary school, okay? Your IQ, don't matter what you do when you get older. You can always change. There's always change in life. You be the biggest drug dealer, the biggest slut on earth, but you can find religion find you, and you just turn out to do the rest of your life. As in, I'm paying attention now and I understand now. But it's the same go with this industry. They can do that and invest their finance and find out their IQ, which is taken around the 4th or 5th grade. And they're subliminally using that without you knowing it to pick these artists when they go through, because your stuff is computerized. Okay? So you're missing the point here. You're not going to be selected unless your IQ say that you can handle the business they're going to give you at a high rate. It's way faster than what it was back in my day. We had to get a fax of our itinerary of the tour. It may not even go along with it, but now you may get it on your phone as soon as they make a decision. I'm going to tell you another thing, too. These promo tours, you don't get to eat. They don't feed you. You don't get to sleep that much. And then you want to party somewhere in between there. So you got to learn that balance. You got to learn that, you know, take a couple of laps around the track. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you guys can get up and smoke this blunt and you're going to get rich. Weed has been here since the dawn of time. Okay? Weed ain't going to make you smarter. It'll make you stupider. Your attention span. Well, not your full nature stupidity. That's what it ain't gonna do. But your attention span, oh yeah, it'll get dumb as shit when you high on weed or anything else that you're doing, trying to dull them senses so you don't have to feel everything that's going on in this world, because the world is really full of bullshit ass people. And it's, like I said, it's more or less, they always say it's 85% people that's stupid, man. I'm telling you right now, give or take, it's 95.999% people that's really fucking stupid. The smartest people on the world are behind the scenes. Believe me. They ain't calling the shots for the scenes. They just know how to stay the fuck out the way and do what's going to bless them for tomorrow. That's what the real world's about. The rest of this stuff is a trap. It's man's trap upon man's trap about promoting what man can think about. Man, I don't care how people want to put it about man and life. Man only lives through life. Life don't live through man, okay? All right? Man drops dead and go visit death for a while, and whatever happens there, happens there. But I ain't going to get into that topic. But I'm just letting y'all know the executive runs the world, and it's all based upon your IQ. So no matter how you dress, how hip you feel you are, how many drugs you feel you take, that little checklist to go do to sound like you relevant in this so-called world is going to change. It changes with politics. So each president, we got a president, everything done dumber down. Everything's not going to dumber down. These executives are going to do something, but they're going to pull the whole thing. And they're going to pull one little string up. And it may be alternative, a way of dress. You know what I'm saying? We already went through the hairstyles with the purple hair and the rainbow head, rainbow bright, and all the rest of that shit. It ain't about the shoes, okay? Kanye and all them got the shoes. Ain't about the drink. Ain't about the movies. One of these days they're going to get into the attitude, and not the gangster attitude or the smart man attitude, it's the attitude of average living. So they can put you where they need to put you if they need to shape you or add to your program to make you smarter, because the government is all experimental. It's just one section, though. The other section is real life. So you have experimental, you have real life. And you have the balance of all that. Okay, everybody's not doing the thinking. It's smart people that's doing the thinking, and they got hang-ups too, because with the world, they can't only see outside what they understand. But I'm not going to go into all that. Just remember, it's all about your IQ, man. So if you ain't get it, at least try to get your kids. Y'all like having sex. Y'all like making babies. Y'all love naming your babies. That's the thing about these kids. They love naming. I'll tell you, people love naming their kids. I'm glad of that, though. And I'm glad it ain't the average name or the average spelling. Keep the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Come on. But don't get too outlandish, okay?